I'd like to share at this time another example of where I feel my expertise and again my just my attitude, my interest uh, was there to help a client. This was a few years ago. I had a client that had a property out in the Indio area, and they had a pretty severe fire. One of the buildings, there was about 4 or 5 buildings there. One of the buildings had, I believe, I don't know, 6 to 8 units in it, as I recall, and there was a complete loss there. Subsequent and actually visiting the client's office where they had their property management office located, it was brought to my attention that they had been contacted by the claims representative informing them that, oh, by the way, you do not have enough coverage. It's called scheduled. Every in a case of an apartment complex that has multiple buildings, let's just say there's 4 buildings on the complex. They're going to schedule those. There's a certain amount, there's a specific amount of coverage that is put on each building. Now the claims representative was telling our client that, hey, sorry, but you're going to fall a little short here because there's not enough coverage to handle the actual loss on that particular building that's been destroyed. Well, I actually immediately said, well, no, that's actually not going to be the case. I'm going to have to talk to claims because the way I've got you set up there, yes, you have scheduled on each building, but I've also put blanket coverage so that by doing that, it's just a little box that you tick on the application, but by doing that, paying attention to those types of details, I said, no, you're not going to be limited to just the schedule on that one building. You have the entire, all of the coverage that's on the policy can be utilized for this building, so no, you don't have to worry about there being a little bit of a shortfall there. Actually, subsequently, as things turned out, of course, they thanked me. Actually, the claims lady called me up and even apologized for that particular error. But again, because I'm very involved, I'm hands-on. I visit with people if they have a claim, say, hey, how's it going? Sometimes things like these occur. Now, again, a different type of an agent, a different type of an attitude. Maybe they're involved, maybe they're not. Maybe they're there to provide input. I mean, it's certainly not beyond the realm of possibility that there can be claims that can be settled. And bottom line was maybe the client really didn't get the best possible settlement that they could have. So you have an agent that's involved, that's concerned, that's value orientated, that wants to make sure that their clients are taken care of. Hey, sometimes that even involves butting heads with people within their own company. But bottom line is that I'm gonna take care of things and make sure that the client is treated appropriately. I'd also like to make one little comment with regards to again, from my over 25 years of experience, what the average consumer, apartment owner, what have you, would really not, I don't think, properly understand. I often hear the comment, even from an apartment owner. It could be a current client that wants to switch because company XYZ is now going to give them the policy of $50 less a year or whatever it is. Are they considering coming on board? And I'll hear this from people where they say, oh, you know what, I'm going to go over to XYZ company because it's the same thing. It's the same policy or it's the same coverage. Now, I tell you, the consumer is not in a position to make that assessment. I can tell you from my own experience, one of the things I've done over the years is insurance consultation. I'll go into companies and I'll take a look at their policies. And let's put it this way, it's difficult for me to even make certain assertions. What I've discovered over the years is even if you've got company X, you've got company Y, they could have exactly the same, what appears to be the same policy, the same contract, as we would refer to it as. The words are pretty much identical, if not identical. Well, that's one thing, but I can tell you that in the real world, when there is a claim, there can definitely be differences in how those claims are settled. And I represent State Farm Insurance. It's the only company that I represent. They have a extremely high quality I think it's really from my experiences. Obviously, I work for them. I guess you could say I'm biased, but I've seen a lot of things happen over the years, and I can assure you that, again, this whole thing with the language, no, it's not the same. And again, a lot of it gets back onto, I shouldn't say a lot of it, I should say a portion of it comes back to the agent and their attitude, their willingness. But you need to be with a company, obviously, too, that has a quality policy. There's integrity there. There's expertise and integrity within the claims, how they're settled, and again, the agent's willingness to be involved and some of these kinds of issues that I've previously discussed. I'm really looking for the type of customer that is looking for an agent for the long term. You're not someone that is just shopping for a policy. You're Yes, price is obviously extremely important. We need to be competitive. We are competitive, but you're not just looking for the cheapest price, the cheapest policy, which actually can end up getting you in trouble. Could cost you thousands and thousands of dollars later in a claim. So you recognize this, and you want somebody that has expertise. Uh, you know, I really don't even want you to contact me if you're just simply looking for somebody that's 50 bucks less this year or this type of thing. And which, by the way, if you're constantly changing like that, if you have a serious claim, you could have some problems where you end up then getting non-renewed because now you've just been with them for 1 year. Now you've got some sort of a big claim. So, I mean, there's various reasons why you should be looking for a long-term relationship with an agent that has expertise, that has a proper attitude. They have your best interests at heart. My case, I have a lot of passion. Doing the apartments is one of my favorite things to do, if not the favorite. The first thing I'm going to want to do if you contact me is, okay, let's meet out at your complex. I want to measure it myself. I want to see what's there. I want to meet you. I guess you could say I'm a little bit old school in that sense. I was brought into the industry at a time period where it wasn't just about insuring the building or insuring the car. It was also the person. There's a certain quality, there's a certain integrity that I like to see from an apartment owner. There's things that you should want to see in picking who you want to be your agent, your broker. But you should certainly want somebody that has the expertise, has the passion, is willing to go out, take a look at your property, be hands-on, measure it, photograph it, help you to determine replacement cost. That level of commitment, that level of interest. If you have a claim, they're going to be involved in the process. They're going to be there to help you if it's necessary. So again, I'm looking for people that are looking for a long-term relationship, and not just the cheapest price. And again, I'm the first one to admit that the premium is extremely important, but there's some other much more serious considerations that you need to take into account. So if you're looking for a professional and all the things I've talked about, then please contact me. I'm ready, willing, and able to meet you out at your apartment, and then we will proceed from there. And I hope that we can have a long-term, healthy relationship.